we're gonna be looking at the first game of Liquid vs OG, primarily the Ember. How do you want to teamfight with this hero? Right, it's quite different actually from the heroes Ember plays against, and also the items he has. How Ember's playstyle is. It can be from only backlining and fighting with Slide and Chain to remnanting in with Flame Guard and playing close range. You can do all of that in like one game, depending on the items you have. So let's look at the heroes. They have Lion, Troll, Pango. Storm is like the important ones. Wisp doesn't matter. So I would be very careful here to jump in to these heroes. You have a SD to save you, but it's still fairly risky team fighting this game with Ember in the early game, that is. Since you have a DK who has Blink, you will probably just, you know, either start the fight with Slide Chain, or you will follow up Slide Chain on a DK stun. That is like kind of what you will do, I think, in the early game until you have BKB. When you have BKB, you know, you can like kind of jump in with the DK and deal a lot of damage with Flame Guard. But that comes later. For now, you will probably just play on the side lanes. Try to, you know, Slide Chain there. If someone's low, you can like Remnant in, do some extra damage, but that will be somewhat of your teamfight contribution in the early game. So here, a Liquid is smoked and Ember breaks it. He immediately first thought is get the hell out, right? He breaks his smoke, immediately runs back so he doesn't get like line spelled. And the next thought should be, I want to stun this guy. I want to set up for my DK. Chains him and runs away again. This is very important actually. These like, you use your spells, and when your spells are on cooldown, you kite around the fight. You don't like stay here and then like, I don't know what, use Flame Guard and run in. You, like, not really, you don't want to do that. So you kite around the fight and let your initiator initiate, you know? You let your DK deal damage now. You don't want to be like frontline with DK and Ember like next to each other, and then Pango rolls on both of you and you both dead. Like it's not good. Uses his spells and immediately kites around the fight. This is what you should do ideally. Uses Flame Guard because he might get jumped, or you can go in with Fire Remnant. I think it's fine to use Flame Guard, they're completely fine. And the target this game is Wisp line every fight. Unless Storm zips in and you can catch him with Chain and he's out of position. Wisp line are the targets you want to go for. Because they also kill you, right? Lion really owns you with these two spells. So you want to kill the Lion and you want to kill the Wisp just because Wisp is Wisp. And Wisp is a very strong hero if you don't kill him because of, you know, Holy Locket, all the healing it provides to the tethered target. So you really want to kill Wisp in like almost any lineup that Wisp is in. These are the targets you want to go for. Other than that, honestly, there's not much more to this fight. Since Line is dead, now you can actually play the team fight. Because now they don't really have any, and Roll is down. Now they don't really have a lot of spells to really go on you. So you can now play on your Flame Guard. You can now play on, you know, a little more close range battle. They're playing together mostly. T is not chasing some random target. You know, they're like chasing together if they chase. That is pretty much all in this team fight. Subtle but very important movements in this team fight. Here is a fight a little later in this game, 28 minutes to be exact. You'll BKB Maelstrom, pretty standard build. Pretty standard. You'll probably, because Storm is Orchid, I haven't actually checked. Yeah, this means we can now actually frontline because we're BKB. We talked earlier. The BKB allows us to actually fight close to the fight with Flame Guard on and BKB on. So that is now what we can do. Let's see. BKB is a roll, completely fine. Chaining the carry, also good. We really don't want to go on the troll. We don't want to go on a tethered troll. And here is very important. You guys see how low this bang goes? He's 250 HP. But the mindset is really important here, right? The mindset is we're gonna play together in team fights. And you can do this in pubs too. You don't have to chase in pubs just because it's pubs and you guys haven't discussed before and to play together. Like if you start doing it, it has a lot of impact on your game. It would be very easy here to just chase this guy with like a remnant, you Yule him, and then you like chain slide him after. Very easy. But then you're giving up positioning. You're like breaking the formation, is what that's called. So Ember stays with a snap. And snap gets saved, he starts going on Storm, you know, Yule's the Storm, tries to set up for something here. Maybe a potential DK stun. And then Storm is to BKB. You know? It's like, nothing major happened, but this was like a, what? This was a 9-second BKB charge. Very big. Like, very important for the game. Do this like 3 more times, 6-second BKB. And it's only like, you know, it's not that great anymore. So these are like what we also talked about in the other episode, like the formation team fights. You know, actually playing with your team and not like chasing targets and breaking up the formation is very important in all levels of pub games. Because almost always 2 heroes are better than 1, or 4 heroes are a lot better than 1 or 2. So this team fight was, you know, nothing even major happened, but the mindset is very important and should be taken into consideration. Now is when Ember gets fun. Now is when these Ember and Void Spirit heroes actually become fun to play. Because now, whenever your smoke breaks, you can actually just charge in like a maniac. You can Remnant in with Flame Guard on and BKB. You have to use BKB when the Remnant is about to end. Otherwise, I mean, you're gonna die in like 1 second. So this is when Ember gets really fun to play, because you can just frontline for your team. The smoke breaks. He scouts with these 2 spells. And he's like, alright, my team is in range. My team is really close by. I can go in now. And BKB is when the Remnant is about to end. And just starts going on the best target in the game, which is Wisp. Wisp is by far, not by far because Lion is also good, but Wisp and Lion are the best targets. So he killed pretty much the best target. This is like best case scenario. This fight is amazing. Because Wisp is dead. And this is also very important. He's kind of just a man fighting. Because he is BKB. And I can tell you guys right now, his eyes is only on his BKB timing. Like, he's only looking here. Because he's just auto-attacking like the troll. And then as soon as the BKB is about to end, he gets out. Because he still dies to like a roll, Storm, Orchid, and Zip, and Lion spells. You know, it's about to be out, and he immediately goes out. Don't want to stay in the team fight. And now, we have no spells. What does that mean? We're kiting. We're kiting the fight, and we're gonna use these 2 spells from range. We're gonna use Slide and Chain from range. Oh, Line. Line's not a good target. We're even by his back. Here you can easily Slide Chain this guy. Yeah, nice. And we're kiting again. Okay, could probably Yule the troll here, for example. Do they help the TA? Ah, he's already Yuled. Nice. At this point, you just want to help your carry, to be honest. Like, not die until you have spells again. Ah, now they Yuled the troll again. This troll got Yuled twice. Unfortunately, they Yuled and DK stunned at the same time. Yeah, troll is really sad right now. Got the Yuled twice. Okay. And Wisp is gone. Wisp is gone again. Right. See, he's like not even he's not hitting anyone ever. He's really just kiting around and trying to get like many rounds of these 2 spells off as possible. Like, how many times has he used this game? I think like 4 or 5 times. He's used like Searing Chain Slide this fight. It's crazy, like how many times. Just because of all the kiting in this fight. Like, he never actually went down. And without BKB, he wasn't in any trouble. This fight was, I think, really well executed by Ember. This is like what playing to your limits really is about, right? Playing to your limits means you deal the most amount of damage without dying. And he really did that this game. And that's the result, you know? The result is you win a team fight and get Roche and potentially win the game. you guys could see, like in this replay, how the playstyles have changed, right? Playstyle at the start of the game was, we're slide chaining. At start of every fight, we're slide chaining important targets. And then we're like playing backline, you know, we're only really going in when a bunch of spells have been used, right? Like, first team fight, the roll, orchid, lion spells have been used. Alright, great, we can go in, right? Playstyle changed when we got BKB, when we got the BKB Maelstrom. We actively went in with the BKB and Flame Guard and fought until our BKB is over. And when BKB is over, the playstyle kind of goes back to what it was. It goes back to playing on the sidelines, you know, just using our low cooldown spells, you know, off cooldown and just like hammering out damage that way. I would say Void Spirit is like pretty similar to this, because Void Spirit, you also go in for a set amount of time and then you get out again. I think that's what was interesting in this game, how the playstyle has changed with BKB and how Ember, you know, could actively frontline with the items he bought and made a lot of space for his team that way.